Give you a little help with your assignment, your first Python coding assignment in this course in Module 2. What you need to do is write a Python script that prompts the user for their name, and then it prompts the user for their age, and then you want to have a little algorithm that gets the current date time from the system, extracts the year, so the current year from the date time now, and then subtracts the age from the current year and returns the year they were born. So it's a fairly simple program, but it's a good exercise just to learn your way around PyCharm and creating a new project, a new Python file, getting the syntax right. Python forces you to keep your indentation perfectly aligned, and some languages don't force you to do that, and you can write some very unmaintainable code if you don't keep your indentation correct. It'll compile and it'll run, but I've had to come in and maintain code before the people wrote, and they just left aligned everything, no indentation at all, and it was horrible. So it's good that you're learning Python. If this is your first language, this is great because you have to do the indentation properly. It's the compiler enforces it in Python. So that being said, let's take a look. So this is your project. It looks like in addition to submitting your Python file, you need to open up Microsoft Word and answer some questions. Let's see. Yeah, Part B. What did you uh, what did you notice when using PyCharm? Um, for example, the color coding of the different words in the statements. Identify 2 or 3 features that could make coding easier for programmers and briefly explain why. Just whatever comes to mind. That's what we're looking for. There's no set answer or set of answers for these, so just give it your best shot for the Word document. But you do need to submit at least these 2 things: the name, age, Python file, and the Word document discussing these questions in Part B. And let's take a look at the rubric. The rubric is something you should definitely look at for every assignment, whether it's a discussion board or an assignment like this, because I am required to use the same rubric when I evaluate your work. So just go through here and make sure that you haven't skipped any of these blocks, because each one of these blocks, best practices, efficiency, functionality, features, each one of these blocks I have to give you a score on, and I give you that score by not manually just coming up with a number, but I have to check a box that says whether or not you did it, and if you did it, was it needs improvement, or was it 100%? So always make sure that you've done everything and it meets the requirements in this leftmost column. For example, on the discussion boards, you're required to reply to at least 2 other students on every discussion board, and if you don't do that, there's a block for that, and I have no alternative but to mark it not evident, because Otherwise, I'd be in trouble. So, uh, I have no alternative but to do that. So, and it pains me to do that because it's like 30 points off your grade. So, please just go through the rubric, make sure you've done everything, and then submit it. Now, something else I want to say here is it says you may resubmit the assignment as many times as you want up to the due date. And it says after the due date, you may not receive full credit if you submit it after that. Um, my practice is if your work is submitted when I sit down to grade it, let's say it was due on Sunday. Well, I'm probably going to grade it, Thursday. Um, but let me change that to Wednesday, and the reason is on Wednesday, after an assignment was due on Sunday, I am required to enter a placeholder grade of 0 uh, if the assignment is still missing, has not been submitted. So I have to do that. And I always explain to you in the feedback that, okay, it's a placeholder grade, and as soon as you submit it, I'll evaluate it and replace the 0. Um, but so try to get, even though if the deadline is Sunday, definitely get it in before Wednesday. That's the best advice I can give you. And if it's there Wednesday, I'm not gonna penalize you for being late because it was due Sunday. But after that, there may be a penalty. So these due dates are just to keep everything moving so that you don't put things off and have to struggle in the last 2 or 3 weeks to get everything in. And also, I don't have to struggle grading everything all at once at the end. I can grade things every week. So it helps everyone just to keep things flowing along. But I'm not a stickler for, if you're 24 hours late, I'm not going to penalize you. So let's take a look at the code for this week's assignment. And what did I do with it? Here it is. So I've opened up PyCharm and I've created a new project. It doesn't matter what you name your project. I believe you only need to submit your Python file this time. Now, as things become more complex later on, you may need to submit your entire project, but zip it up and submit it. And you're welcome to do that now. But basically, I just need this, the name, age, py file, and your Word document. But when you start to do this, you'll need to go in and, new project, and then new Python file. And so I've already done all of that, and I've coded it up here. So we're the first thing we're going to do is define a class, a main class. And we're going to prompt the user for their name, prompt the user for their age, and calculate the birth year. Those are the 3 tasks. And so what we've done is we create a variable, and we didn't give it a type or anything, but it should be a string. We expect a series of alpha characters here for name. And then for the age, however, even though we didn't give age a type, we're going to cast it as an int. And going to put this inside a try catch. Now notice it says try except, but in most languages we call it a try catch. And here you've got some help here. Just hover over it in PyCharm. It's a very, very good interface. So we're going to make sure that somebody doesn't give you letters instead of numbers for their age. Like somebody might type in the word 42, something like that. Well, we don't want that. We want a number. And so we're going to cast this as an int. And if attempting to cast this as an integer fails because they typed in the word 42 instead of the age, the number, then it's going to fail right here, and it's going to fall in here and in the exception, and it's going to print out a statement that tells them to enter a valid age as a number, and then it's going to let them do it again. So we don't have any sort of a check like that on name. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to import date time, and we're going to set a variable here for current year equal to date time now, the now method dot year. So we're going to get the current date time timestamp from date time. It's going to get it from the system, and then we're going to extract the current year from that. And then we're going to set birth year variable equal to current year minus age. And age is this integer value up here you captured from the user input. Then we're going to display the year of birth greeting message. And we're going to use a print statement just like we did up here. But here we're going to notice this F in front of the string that we're going to output. That tells it to format the string with these tokens, to embed these, to evaluate these tokens that we've embedded in the string. And these curly braces around the variables are tokens. And so it's going to translate those. It's going to put those inside the string so that you'll see, like, hello, Steve, you were born in, I won't say. So that's it. That's the code. So let's run it and see what we get. So we're going to go up here, run. And so it's asking me my name. Well, I guess you'll see this now. And wrong keyboard again. Let's be formal. So it tells me I was born in 1954, and that is correct. So, so that's your assignment for this, your coding assignment for this week. You've got ZBook activities and such. And be sure, and as you're doing this, I would go ahead and, there's that Sense instant feedback that you can get from the from that Sense app. I think you all had to pay for that. I'm not sure. I tried to get an account gratis just so I could see what you guys were doing, but they said I didn't need it. So I don't have any visibility into how that's going to work for you. But I would definitely go ahead and submit, just copy this and submit it however you do it. I don't know if you paste it in or if you just actually submit the the actual file, the name, age, PY file. But go ahead and submit it. See what kind of feedback you get, even if it runs, even if it looks correct. Uh, just to just to get a sense of how that whole process works, and get your money's worth. So that's it. Just get everything submitted. By the way, I just want to say one more thing about the ZBook readings, interactive readings. Uh, if you mark an answer incorrectly, please take a look at the feedback and then go ahead and change your answer to the correct response before moving on. And by the time you finish any the interactive readings for the module, you should always have 100% for that interactive reading for a score. It's auto scored. I have no way to go in and change that for you. But if you don't do that, and here's the thing about these interactive readings, the quizzes, they're not there to evaluate you. So it's okay once you have learned their correct response from the feedback. It's okay to go ahead and, in fact, it's if you look at the instructions for how to use the ZBook, it tells you that. Go ahead and mark it correct after you read the feedback. Otherwise, it's going to drag down your final score. If you have a bunch of like 75-50% for your interactive ZBook readings, that could drop you a whole letter grade. So I've seen it happen, and it's frustrating for me because I always encourage people and tell people don't leave any incorrect answers on your ZBook readings, because if you go through and you read the feedback, then you've learned the correct answer. So go ahead and get credit for it. You're supposed to do that. It's there to. It's a teaching tool, not an evaluation tool. So just remember that and use it accordingly. Well, thank you. I look forward to this term with you, and best of luck to everyone. I'll see you next week.